Brajagacharya Suttar Sadasman Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Kuri Osnamil ki jai. Namacharya Srila Vilas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivata Adi Gaur Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gaur Sam Radha Kundi Gaur ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadip Dham ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Yamuna Mai ki jai. Tulsi Devi ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Navaveda Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the Srimad. All glories to the Srimad. All glories to the Srimad. Thank you very much.
The following is a class on the Bhagavad Gita as it is, second chapter, text number 23, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on November 27th, 1972, in Hyderabad, India.
Here is the import of Sanatana. Nitya sarvagata sthanu achalayam sanatana. Sanatana, here is mention of Sanatana in another place, in the 7th chapter, 15th chapter, there is mention of Sanatana. Mamaivangsha jiva bhuta jiva loke Sanatana. Another place, there is mention of Sanatana. Paras tasmatu bhava anya bhaktya bhaktyat Sanatana. In another place, there is mention in the 11th chapter, Krishna is addressed as Sanatana. So Krishna is Sanatana, and we living entities, we are also Sanatana. And there is a place. First tasmato, place means another nature. Not this nature, not this prakriti. There is another prakriti. Para tasma. Para means transcendent. This nature is not Sanatana, it is asanatana, perishable. Sanatana means not perishable. So, this Krishna consciousness movement is an attempt to bring all these Sanatana together. The living entity Sanatan, God, Krishna, Sanatan, and the place Sanatan. Just like here, we are trying to live together, our family, father, mother, children, friends, countrymen, community men. We are trying to make a permanent settlement here, making very nice building, spending millions of dollars, making it very strong so that it may not be destroyed. So everyone is trying to keep himself permanent. The old man is trying to make himself young man. Nobody wants to become old man. Nobody wants to be destroyed. But the difficulty is that here everything is destroyed. Asana. But we have got a tendency to become Sanatana. We want permanent life. We want permanent place. We want permanent relationship. But that is not possible. That is not possible. Therefore, Shastra says, Andha dathandhi rupaniyamana. The andha means blind leaders. They are giving us false hope that we shall make here permanent settlement. Therefore they are called andhas. They have no sense. You cannot make it Sanatana, but the whole attempt is going on to make everything Sanatana. This is called illusion. Illusion means you are accepting something which is not possible, but they do not know. Nati vidu sarthagating hi Vishnu. Durasaya je bahirarthamani. Durasaya, this is a hope which is never to be fulfilled. Durasaya. Asaya means hope. So the whole material world is going on durasaya. They are trying to make permanent settlement. But there is always disruption, fight, just like they have now created the United Nations. My dear all nations, please do not fight. Let us make a permanent settlement, peace. But the result is the fighting is going on. It cannot be stopped. Here, this is not a Sanatan place. This is impermanent, temporary. Bhutta praliyate. This is the nature of this material world. Something is generated at a certain date and it stays for some time, it grows, it gives some byproducts, then again it dwindles and then it vanishes. Just like this body. This body is given by the father and mother at a certain date. Then it stays, say for some time, it grows. Then it gives some byproduct. From this body there will be so many children. Or from the trees there will be so many fruits and seeds. Then dwindling, then becomes older and vanish. This is the nature. So, here we are getting information that akshedvaya madajyam aklidya asosaivacha nitya sarvagataha. This is another qualification of the living entities. Sarvagataha. Everywhere. The rascal scientist says there is no living entity in the moon planet or sun planet. This is rascal. There is. Otherwise, how Krishna says, Sarvagata. And everywhere there is living entity. This is a false theory. We can see practically. We see there are living entities in the water, there are living entities in the air, there is living entity within the earth. There is living entities in so many ways. Why not in other planets? Where is the difference between this planet and that planet? This is also made of 5 elements. That is also made of 5 elements. Here the earthly element is very prominent, and the sun globe, the fire element is very prominent. So, if this material world is made of these 5 elements, Bhumi, Rapa, Nalo, Vayu, Khanga, Mana, Buddhi. So, Krishna says Sarvagat. The living entities are everywhere. Krishna is also within everywhere. Annantarastham paramanu chayantarastham. Krishna is within this universe. Krishna is within your heart. Not only your heart, but in everyone's heart. Ishara sarvabhutanam riddese arjuna tishtati. Now, if you are a great scientist, take one insect. There are so many insects, you have seen, especially in the book, less than the full stop. Now, if you are a great scientist, find out where is the heart of this insect and where is Krishna. But Krishna says, Sarvagata, everywhere there is Krishna. Unless there is Krishna, there is living entity, how that small full stop like insect is moving. There is everything. The physiological condition is there. There is heart also. You cannot make that. You have imitated a big bird, aeroplane flying, but just imitate the small insect which is also flying. So there are so many questions that if we actually philosophically study, then we can see Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlava. How Vasudeva Krishna is acting. Annantarastham Paramanu Chayantarastham. So, here the living entity is described as Sanatan, and the process by which we can understand our Sanatan nature, that is called Sanatan Dharma. Not that having a big pillow and considering this rascal lump of matter as I am Brahmin. This body is Brahmin and Sanatan Dharma. This is all nonsense. Sanatan Dharma means, first of all, you must know what you are. That is Sanatan. Is Sanatan Dharma is limited to a certain area? How it can be? Sarvagata. Sanatan Dharma must be there everywhere. Ishavashamidam sarvam. Everywhere, Krishna's kingdom, Krishna's property. How is that? You are simply claiming that in India there is Sanatan Dharma. In India there is Brahmin. What Krishna creates, that is for everywhere. Because Krishna is the father of everyone. Aham bija padapita sarvajoni sukaunte. So these rascaldom, that Sanatan Dharma is only in India, and that is also cut off. Now the Pakistan is cut off, and therefore there is no Sanatan Dharma. Simply here, if you remain foolish like that, then andhajathan bhairupaniyamana, that means you are being led by some blind leader. You do not know what is what. If living entity is Sanatan, and if the process by which one can realize his Sanatan nature, that is called Sanatan Dharma. Dharma, if we study these two words, Sanatan means eternal. That is called Sanatan. And Dharma means occupation, characteristic. Dharma does not mean some superficial ritualistic ceremony. Dharma means the characteristic. That is real meaning. Dharma is not a kind of faith. Dharma is characteristic. Sanatan Dharma means Sanatan characteristic, eternal characteristic. The changing. Now I have got now this body, Indian body, and then next body, maybe cats and dogs or demigods, according to my karma. So the body changes, the Sanatan Dharma cannot be applied to this body. Sanatana Dharma means the characteristic of the soul. That is Sanatana Dharma. To understand the characteristic of the soul. Krishna is describing here the characteristic of the soul, the Sanatana. And at the conclusion, he gives you information of the Sanatana Dharma. What is that? Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja. This is Sanatana. Krishna is Sanatana. I am Sanatana. You are Sanatana. Now, under the influence of nature, I am thinking I am the servant of my wife, I am servant of the society, I am servant of my nation, I am servant of my cat, I am servant of my dog. And we are doing that actually. Everyone is working under this impression. Atha grihat cheta sutapta vittai janasya mohoyam aham mameti. This is illusion. You have to come to the platform of Sanatana. What is that Sanatana? I am eternally servant of Krishna. That is Sanatana. I am not servant of this or that or that. No. I am eternal servant of Krishna. Jiver Sarupa Nitya Krishna Das. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that every living entity is in its original position of Krishna consciousness. At the present moment you have got different consciousness. That is Maya. This is mental concoction. I am thinking that I will be happy in this way. That is a mental concoction. You cannot be happy unless you surrender to Krishna. That is Sanatana. Therefore Krishna says, Bahunam Janmanam Anti. A person, after many, many births, he becomes really wise. Kamadinam kotidhana kotidha palita durnidesa tesang moina karuna jata natrapa lopasanti. A Brahmin, he prays to Krishna, my dear Lord, I have become the servant of my senses. Here everyone is servant of his senses. They want to enjoy the senses. Not enjoy, they want to serve the senses. My tongue says, please take me to such and such restaurant and give me such and such chicken juice. I immediately go. Not to enjoy, but to abide by the orders of my tongue. Therefore, in the name of so-called enjoyment, we are all serving the senses. In Sanskrit it is called Godas. Go means senses. So unless you become Goswami, your life is spoiled. Goswami. You cannot be dictated by the senses. You have to dictate to the senses. As soon as the tongue says, kindly take me to the restaurant or give me a cigarette. If you say no, no cigarette, no restaurant, simply Krishna Prasad, then you are Goswami. Then you are Goswami. This is the characteristic Sanatana, because I am eternal servant of Krishna. So, this is called Sanatana Dharma, that we are describing in the Ajami Lupakhya. This stage can be attained. Tapasa, brahmacharjena, samena, damena, shauchena, tyagena, jamena, niyamena. Therefore, the whole Vedic literature is meant for how to control the senses Yoga, yoga indriya sangha. That is yoga. Yoga means not to show some magic. This is the first class magic. If you are practicing yoga, I have seen so many so-called yogis, but they cannot control the sense for smoking. Smoking and so many things are going on, and still they are passing as a yogi. What kind of yogi? Yogi means one who has controlled the senses. Samena, damena, brahmacharyena. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is all explained when yoga system is described. And 5,000 years ago, Arjuna was hearing about this yoga controlling senses. So he was a grihastha and politician also because he belonged to the royal family. He was fighting for gaining victory over the kingdom. So Arjuna frankly said, "My dear Krishna, it is not possible for me to become a yogi because this is very difficult job. You are asking me to sit down in a solitary place, in a sacred place, and in perpendicular state, simply looking on the point of your nose, of my nose. So many things are, but it is not possible for me." He frankly refused. So Krishna, just to encourage his friend and devotee, he could understand that Arjuna is becoming disappointed. He is frankly admitting that it is not possible for him. Actually, he is a politician. How it can be possible for him to become yogi? But our politicians, they are advertising, they are practicing yoga. What kind of yoga? Has he become more than Arjuna? In this age of fallen age, 5,000 years ago, how much favorable condition was there? Now, in such unfavorable condition, deteriorated condition, you want to become a so-called yogi? It is not possible. Kite adhyato Vishnu. Yoga means to meditate upon Vishnu. That was possible in the Satyayuga, just like Valmiki. He meditated for 60,000 of years and become perfect. So, who is going to live for 60 years? So it is not possible. So therefore, Krishna to encourage him. Actually, the purpose of yoga, he explained to Arjuna. Yoginam api sarvesam madgata antaratmana sadhyaman bhajati jo mang same yukta tamo. First class yogi. Who? Yoginam api sarvesam madgata antaratmana. Who is thinking of always of me, Krishna. So, this Krishna consciousness movement is educating people to become first-class yogi. Think of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. This is not bogus thing. It is actual fact. You can become yogi. You can become Brahma. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Mancha vicharini bhakti yogena jasevati. Sagunan samatitaitan. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. So one who becomes realized, self-realized person, Brahma bhuta prasannatma. Then what does it remain for him? That is the ultimate goal of life, to become aham brahmasmi. The Vedic literature teaches us that don't think that you belong to this matter. You are Brahma. Krishna is para Brahma. And we are subordinate Brahma. Nitya Krishna Das. You are servant Brahma. He is master Brahma. So instead of understanding that I am servant Brahma, I am thinking I am master Brahma. That is another illusion. That is another illusion. So things are going on right. So, Sanatana Dharma means when one understands his real position, that is self-realization. Or in other words, Krishna is Sanatana. If you engage yourself in the service of Krishna, then by practicing this Sanatana Dharma, you are transferred to the Sanatana place, Vaikuntha. That is Sanatana. Dharma means character. So what is our characteristic? I was going to explain that we are now serving our senses. This is our material characters. Material character because originally I am servant. I am not master. But I have given up service of Krishna. Krishna bhuliya jeev bhogavansha kare. Why shall I become servant? I shall become Krishna. All right, you become Krishna. You become enjoyer. That is material world. Everyone is trying to become Krishna, enjoyer. So there is fight. Always. You are trying to become Krishna. I am trying to become Krishna. As there are so many incarnations of God nowadays, every lane, every street. So we are all imitation Krishna and there is fight. That is asanatana dharma. That is not Sanatana. Therefore, the Brahmin says, Kamadinam kotidhana kotidha palita durnidis. My dear Lord, I tried to become master, but I have become servant of my senses. Kam, krodh, lobh, moha, masterja, ityadi. Now, I see that I have served so long, but my so-called master, they are not satisfied. Everyone knows. Even up to the end of life, one tries to become master. But that is not possible because he is not master. So when one is wise, he sees that I am actually not master. I am serving others, but I am thinking I am master. Just like in my family. I am thinking that I am the head of the family, I am the master of the family, but actually to satisfy my family member, I have to work hard day and night. So I have become their servant, but I am thinking I am master. This is called illusion. So when one comes to the senses that he cannot be master at any stage of his life, then he surrenders to Krishna. Sa Mahatma Sudurva. Vasudeva Sadvami. So Vasudeva is the real master. And my nature is to serve him. Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Sa Mahatma Sudurva. He is first class Mahatma. Not the Mahatma who is thinking himself that he has become Narayan and begging door to door. And Narayan is meant for begging. Narayan is the master of Lakshmi, goddess of fortune. But they have manufactured a word, Daridra Narayan. Narayan has become Daridra. Just foolishness, see. Narayan is the master goddess of not only one goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Sahasra Sata Sambhama Sevamanam Govindam Adipurusam Tamam. Hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis. Just like Krishna, when he was present, he had 16,108 Lakshmis in Dwarka. That is Narayan. And each Lakshmi was given a big palatial building made of marble and bedecked with jewels. So there was no need of light. Such nice marble palaces. And each queen was given 10 children. And it is not that 16,000 queens were crying and Krishna is only with one queen. No. He expanded himself into 16,000 forms and he was living with each queen. And that is Narayan. Why Narayan should become Daridra? Narayan says that Bhoktaram Jagataram, he is the supreme Bhokta, enjoyer. So he is unlimited, therefore he is unlimited enjoyment. That is Krishna. He showed it when he was present. Why 16,000 wives? If he could have 16 millions of wives, still they are not perfect. Because he is unlimited. So these things we have to understand. So this Brahman's prayer, Kamadinang Kotidhana Kotidha Palita Dunnidesa Tisang Maina Karuna Jata Natrapa Nopushanti Sampratam Lubdhi Buddhi Labdham. My dear Lord, I have searched my senses so long, but I see they are not satisfied, nor they are pleased, nor there is end of their service. Therefore, now I have got good sense. I have come to serve you. Kindly accept. This is Krishna consciousness movement. That you are engaged in service, but you are thinking as master. This is foolishness. Give up this foolishness and just become a servant of Krishna as you are constitutionally positioned. This is Krishna consciousness. And the every living entity is Sanatana. And Krishna is Sanatana. And there is place, Sanatana. So our business is how to transfer ourselves in that Sanatana Dham. Sarveshu vinassasu na vinassati. Everything being destroyed. That place, that Sanatana Dham is never destroyed. Krishna is never destroyed, you are also not ever destroyed. So therefore, when these three combination will be there, that will be happy. Jadgatyana nivartanti tadhama paramam. Tadhama paramam. So, we have to return to the Sanatana Dharma, Sanatana Dhama, by executing our Sanatana Dharma to approach the Supreme Sanatana, Nitya Nityanam. He is the greatest Sanatana amongst the many other Sanatanas. Nitya and Sanatana the same thing. Here it is said, Nitya or Sanatana. So, Krishna is also Nitya. And I am also Nitya, you are also Nitya. So our business is to approach Krishna and be engaged in his service for Nitya, eternally. That will make us happy. Otherwise, what is this? Tilak, and considering I am this body, Brahmin, I am this, that. That is not Sanatana Dharma. Here is Sanatana Dharma. Try to understand. And this Sanatana Dharma should be spread all over the world for all living entities. Because all living entities are Sanatana. They should be informed that here is your position. Here is your Sanatana master. Why you are traveling? Serving your senses. This is Sanatana Dharma. So this Krishna consciousness movement is Sanatana Dharma real, not so-called Sanatana Dharma. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So in the beginning, Srila Prabhupada spoke about Sanatan and he quoted various references where all this word Sanatan is used. At least 3 references. 2.
ಮಾಮೇವಂಚ ಜೀವಲೋಕೆ ಜೀವಭೂತ ಸನಾತನ ಪರಸ್ತಸ್ಮಸ್ತು ಭಾವವನ್ನು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಾತ್ ಸನಾತನ.
Okay. And also 11 chapter. Haribo. So what is the goal of the Krishna consciousness movement?
As we are Sanatan, Krishna is also Sanatan, and there is another Dham Sanatan. So we have 3 are being united, combined. That is the goal.
Haribo. So in the material world, our bodies are not Sanatan, eternal, but still we have a desire to become eternal. So how can we establish that everyone is trying to become eternal, even in this material world?
Prabhupada told about like people around there trying to build a big buildings, and they wanted to make it strong so that it remains permanent. And even like old people also, they want to look young. So that's how like they want to like remain permanent.
Haribo. And then he quoted the verse, Andha yathandir upaniyamana. And then he's described, so who are these andhas? Why are they called andha? Blinds.
The leaders in the society who tell the people that you can be permanent here, and they are making all the arrangements for people to be permanent. It's just not possible on bodily level.
False hopes. Haribo. Okay, so in order to try to make a permanent settlement, they have established the United Nations, but it is not possible to have any peace. So in this material world, everything is impermanent, temporary, and everything undergoes 6 changes. So what are the 6 changes anything material undergoes? Basic question. This is PhD.
Birth, then they grow, and it stays, and then production of byproduct, then dwindles, and then vanishes.
Revo. Then he's speaking about the characteristics of the jiva, as mentioned in this verse, sarvagata. So Srila Prabhupada, he establishes that how Sanatan Dharma is not meant only for India. So on what basis he establishes this? That Sanatan Dharma is not meant only for India.
Sanatana means eternal. Our soul is eternal. So it's not that only in India it is eternal. It's everywhere, even in Pakistan. Everywhere it is eternal.
Right. Okay. Haribo. Somebody would like to add one more reference for this? Srila Prabhupada gave something from Ishopanishad also.
Prabhuji, first shlok of Ishopanishad, Isavasam idam sarvam.
So what does it mean?
Means everything inanimate and animate, it comes from Krishna. So Sanatana Dharma also comes from Krishna. So it should not be restricted in India, it should be everywhere.
Oh, Haribo. So what is the meaning of dharma and what is not the meaning of dharma?
Dharma doesn't mean some ritualistic ceremonies or some faith. Dharma means the characteristic.
Haribo. So then, he's speaking about the dharma of the jiva. Jiva Swarup hoy Nitya Krishna Das. But then in the material world, the jiva is simply trying to enjoy the senses. He quoted this verse many times, Kamadinam Katina. So he spoke this. And difference between Godas and Goswami. Too simple.
Hare Krishna. Godas means senses of enjoying senses, and Goswami means serving, service to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
That is
more specific. Goswami means what?
Goswami means we are serving Krishna.
In the word Goswami, there is no Krishna.
Go means
Go means?
Go means senses.
And Swami means?
Swami means Krishna. No, worship. No.
Master.
Master.
Right. And thank you. Haribo.
Swami means master.
Of course, Prabhupada put it a little more graphically. Now you'll take me to that restaurant or give me a cigarette. If you say no cigarette, no restaurant, simply Krishna Prasad, then you are Goswami. So then he said, what is first class magic? First class magic.
First class magic is to control his senses and become a Goswami.
Not some other magic. Okay. Haribo. So why did Arjun say that it's very difficult for him to become a yogi?
Hare Krishna. So because he was a politician by dharma.
Okay. And what else? Why the process was difficult for him?
So basically he was by Varnashram, he was a politician, and
right.
he has imbibed relationship with his duties. So
and what are the aspects of the process that make it difficult? Okay.
Krishna was telling that you should go to a solitary secluded place, sit in a perpendicular state and make your, see your just point of your nose. So it was very difficult for Arjuna and he frankly refused.
Haribo. Okay. And then how did Srila Prabhupada refute this Daridra Narayan? Daridra Narayan.
Prabhupada said, Daridra Narayan means not begging door to door, thinking that I am Narayan. But actually, only Narayan is very rich because he is master of the goddess of fortune. And he graphically described how he doesn't have only one Lakshmi under him, but there are 16,108 millions. And he told that in this, his Leela, Krishna Leela, he had in Dwarka 16,108 Lakshmis. And each, he had given him house, should I describe? Okay. In each house, he gave a marble house and bedecked with jewels.
Palace,
yeah. Palace bedecked with jewels. So there was no need of extra light inside in that way. And he has given 10 children to each Lakshmi. Not that each one Lakshmi is crying that, okay, Krishna has not come to me. He has expanded himself into 16,108 Krishnas. So in this way, he is very rich and opulent. And he's master of all the Lakshmis. So he cannot be poor begging on the street.
Haribo. So what is the way to become happy in this world?
By surrendering to Krishna, we can become happy.
A little more. So why we need to surrender to Krishna? What was in the beginning, what Prabhupada said in the beginning is repeating the same thing at the end. What is the nature of the jiva, what is the nature of Krishna, and what is the goal?
Nature of jiva is we are eternal and Krishna is also eternal. Our goal is to go to eternal dham, Sanatan dham.
So if we follow that process, then we can become happy. Haribo! Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai, Samved Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Hare Krishna.